Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Morgan-Allison and we are back with another video. First, I want to say thank y'all for the new subscribers. I'm at 102 and I remember when I was at 100. No, seriously. Thank y'all for the engagement. Thank y'all for just being here. Thank y'all for commenting, liking, etc. Engaging with me is pretty dope because I'm stepping out and trying new things. But here I want to talk about the fact that I got my first negative or disagreeing TikTok comment, and it made me feel like, oh my gosh, you might be doing something right because everybody ain't even agree with you, sis. So I posted a clip of my last video about the Monique debacle on TikTok, just trying to get more views, obviously, right? And somebody commented and said, the fact that we're creating some content about something as insignificant as this and not things as educational laws or voter suppression. And if you're familiar with TikTok, you can comment with words or you can comment with a video. So being that I got this comment, as soon as I woke up, I wasn't thinking very clearly, so I just kind of said what I said. And what I said was, one, in typing it out, I was like, one, you cannot watch my content, and two, if you want to talk about those issues, you can talk about those issues on your platform, which holds weight, right? But in a video, I made a video responding to her, and I said, one, respectability politics is not insignificant because it's literally freed us and got us nowhere, right? Two, if you want to talk about bonnets being worn outside in public as insignificant, I would have to probably agree with you. But the point is, stop telling black women what to do, right? And three, my last point was the fact that racism touches so much with black people. I can't talk about everything. I talk about black women things on my platforms because that's just kind of naturally what I've gravitated to. Recently is when I have started talking about, when I've verbally started to say, I am standing as protecting black women, right? That's my thing. But over the years, through my art, through my papers, through my thesis that I wrote in school, the way I view life is through how do we think about this in terms of black women, right? Only recently have I started saying verbally, this is the hill I'm willing to die on. So my point to her was, you have to choose the hill you're going to die on, because there are so many things that are touched by racism in this country that I cannot do everything on my little platforms, okay? You cannot do everything on your little platform. And I say little because racism is so big and so systematically ingrained into our country that it's just these little platforms are only the first step, right? So my idea is that when I am sitting in front of this camera talking about black women things, right? Hopefully I become such a good resource to people that you could point somebody to me and we can talk about, and they can listen and learn of how we can do better for black women, right? So if there's somebody else who is an expert in how black people suffer in food justice, right? You can point them in that direction. If there's somebody who's an expert in black people in the economic struggle, right? You can point them in that direction, right? So it's I don't have the energy to fight every fight. I don't want to find the energy to fight every fight. Honestly, and that is not to say the fight won't overlap, right? Because as a black woman who looks at things through a black woman's eyes, I'm always going to see how does not having access to proper healthcare affect black women? How does not having access to the proper food affect black women? How does patriarchy affect black women? How does things we talk about in sexuality affect black women? How does church affect black women? So the things are going to overlap, right? But the idea is find your niche and go with it, right? And I think that is my encouragement to people, is that you can't do everything. You cannot. That's why when people go get degrees and they go get these degrees, they become an expert in their one thing. Yes, the things overlap, but they have become an expert in their one thing. That's the thing they choose to talk about, and they have conversation with other scholars. So with that being said, I got my first negative TikTok comment. And I say all this to say, you have to, and honestly, for the sake of your mental health, right? Because you will get so overwhelmed when you realize, like, racism literally touches everything. It touches how I think about myself. It touches how I think about what my nose looks like. It touches how I think about my skin. It touches how I think about my hair, my food, the access to loans I can get, the access to a car loan I can get. It touches everything, right? So you will get overwhelmed with the ideas that surround racism in this country and Black people. So it's like, for the sake of your mental health, pick your struggle, pick your hill you're willing to die on. Become a person and an expert in that field, and go with it, so that we can be the resource, right? And again, I don't really know, when I say resource, I don't necessarily mean a resource to white people to learn, but I do mean a resource for Black people, definitely, because Black people have to learn about this stuff as well to get free. So that's all I have to say. Again, thank you for your comments. Comment below what your struggle, what's the hill you're willing to die on. For me, in this moment, it is, I am willing to die for the protection of Black women. I am willing to die for the stories of Black women being told, for Black women owning their sexuality, for Black women owning their womanness, for Black women just being able to live, right? I'm willing to die for that. And die metaphorically, because I got things I want to accomplish, right? But what's the hill you're willing to die on for for the cause, right? But thank you again for the subscribers. I just wanted to talk about my first negative TikTok comment, because I feel like once you start getting the negative, you might be popping eventually. So there it is. Thank you again for being here. If you like the content, if you want me to talk about something specific, let me know down in the comments, and I will do my best to research and talk about those things. Yeah, thank you. Until next time, I'll see y'all.